My video for May the 2nd, 2018 is entitled Forced Smile Through Repressed Tears. Monday evenings, I usually attend a gathering in which we listen to recorded music, mostly oldies. What would you expect from people our age? I suppose many of us enjoy hearing the songs we remember from when we were young. Some even get up and dance, though I always decline. Since my stroke, my feet are numb, especially the right foot. I'm afraid I would fall over if I tried to dance, so I stay seated. As I look at other seniors, I see many smiles and occasional frowns too. Most, like me, decline dancing. This night, I felt especially melancholy. I forced many smiles, though there were memories triggered that made me feel like crying. Not all of these were the result of the songs. I kept thinking again that I have lived my life in vain, not able to see the promises I thought were a sure thing coming to pass anytime soon. As I come to the computer to write down my experience, I am still repressing tears. No one would see me if I cried, not even the God I dedicated my life to decades ago. I'm sure I'm not alone. Yes, I even caught a frown on a lady who always seems to be smiling. I sense many of us hold back tears. What choice do we have? Crying changes nothing. Just before I went to the music gathering, I read Anna von Reitz's latest post. I read them regularly. She insists there will not be a currency revaluation that will put money into the hands of visionaries like me. That, more than the music, is what made me want to cry. There are many, many people who say what's going to happen, and it always seems to be imminent. Of course, Anna is perhaps more of a realist than others. As I've said before, the RV that was promised, that's the currency revaluation, gave me some hope that maybe there would be a way that I could actually start helping people in Africa and Haiti and other impoverished places around the world, and even help some of the people and get some projects going right in my own area, because it would put the capability of doing something in my hands, in my control. Anna's thing is that we've got to reestablish the republic first, and the people that were working on reestablishing the republic in my area, which used to be the center of it in the state of Florida, are no longer here or no longer involved in that project of trying to reestablish the republic. But even reestablishing the republic isn't going to create the affluence necessary for us to really begin rebuilding the world. And while I really admire Anna and the whole idea of restoring the republic in the United States, as I said, I was the Secretary of State for Florida under Tim Turner. And there are many others that are working in various parts of the United States, trying to reestablish a republic. I don't think all of them work with Anna von Reitz. But I have greatly respected her. As I said, I listen to her reports, read her reports every day. I mean, sometimes there's 2 or 3 of them in one day that come up on her Facebook page, and I'm one of her 5,000 Facebook friends. I don't know if she's at 5,000, but she's like I am. She's up near the top of the allowable friends on her list. And I still pray. Yeah, well, sometimes my prayers some people might not think of them as prayers, but I talk with God. Sometimes I yell at God. I don't mean that I might get loud and raise my voice when I'm by myself, but the attitude is one of what yelling and saying, God, when are you going to stop making excuses? It's not up to us. And people keep saying to me, Ron, it is up to us. And if it's up to us, then not only Jesus wept, but we should all be weeping, because our Creator seems to think it's okay to allow very dark beings to control any planet, anywhere, at any time. It's absolute insanity to have to live in a world where anyone has the capability of repressing others, of making it impossible for them to accomplish their dreams, creating a monetary system where only the most despicable human beings seem to be able to have the affluence necessary to make a positive impact on those that they'd like to help. As I've said in other videos, I mean, I got a request from a man in Africa who runs an orphanage, and I made a small donation. And then I get a request from someone in the same country wanting even more money. Then I wanted $1,000. How am I going to give $1,000? My income is less than that in a month, which is poverty income. Is it any wonder that I have repressed tears? No, I don't even cry when I'm in my own room. It's hard for me to cry anymore. Very, very rarely do I even get tears in my eyes anymore, because something in me seems to be hardened or hardening and making it more and more difficult for me to express the emotion that somehow has to come out. Somehow we all need to weep. Somehow we all need to cry that our Creator has apparently forsaken us. And people keep saying, it's coming, it's coming. It's going to happen X time. And I mean, it could be a couple hundred years from now. If that happens, the earth isn't going to, the current civilization is going to be a completely different civilization. I think it's going to be a completely different civilization within this decade that we're living in now, and it's toward the end of the decade. We only got a couple more years left and the decade is over. We're in the next one. And something has to give. Something has to give. Forcing smiles may make us put on an appearance that seems like we're happy, but it's a forced smile. It's not a real, genuine, from the heart exuberance that is filled with joy. I'd like to experience the joy again. I'd like to be able to experience what it feels like to be able to help those that are in depressed situations. And by depressed, I don't just mean emotional, because sometimes the people that are most impoverished seem to somehow find it within themselves to express joy, while those like me who, yes, I'm considered poverty level in the United States, but it would be considered rich in some of the third world countries. So there's such an inconsistency around the world with our ability to accomplish things. And the only ones that seem able to accomplish their vision are dark entities. That needs to change so that we can release the repressed tears and actually smile and feel the joy. Thank you for listening. Namaste.